thing? What's your one thing? What's your one fucking thing? All-seeing triangle. All-seeing, all-knowing triangle. Aware, together, stopped. All right?
We're all inside that triangle.
Yeah.
We're all in the eye.
Who's excited?
Woo!
I said, who's excited?
Guardians! Who's pivot in the second line?
The second line is Alchemist.
I meant the first line.
First line is Baby.
Wait, what? What's going on?
Oh, we're in Phoenix.
Will you get a picture of you wearing a photo? Yeah.
Yeah. Jim, pivot.
First line, you're getting ready to
Bring it in.
second line in the hot zone.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Huddle up. Huddle up. Huddle up. We're gonna do our cheer. Do our cheer. Right? Sit. Right? You're gonna leave this down totally dead. You're gonna give it everything. Right? You're gonna play clean.
No cutting.
You're gonna play two.
No cutting.
There is the big A. Say it.
Trust our teammates.
That's two things. Great.
Love your teammates. Protect your teammates.
I say we are. You say Guardians 3 times, and then we're gonna do
Good afternoon and welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. For the 2015 Brouhaha, we are about to see the Capital City Hooligans take on the Cleveland Guardians in men's roller derby action.
So, I am Biff Mix-a-Lot.
I am Bryant Mumble.
All right, we are roughly just a little over a minute away. I'll run through the Guardians roster. This is their third bout of the weekend, their fourth bout ever as a men's roller derby team. Number 0, London Mauling. Number 1, Xander Danger. Number 11, Alchemist Prime. Number 12, Sinisation. Number 2, Bender Rules. Number 25, Old School. Number 3, Revengineer. Number 42, El Guapo. Number 5, Whiskey. Number 52, Cal Hell. Number 700, Ferret Bueller. Number 88, Beard Bard. And number 987, C Payne. Go ahead.
Aquila will be bench coaching with Decibel. And Capital City Hooligans will be number 0, Boyd on the track. Number 13, Dr. Woe. 215 is Wild Style. 22, Impale Ale. 24 is Lumberjerk. Burgle Arsony, number 25. Number 27 is Roger Rabid. 309 is Fancy Pants. Cunningham is number 39. 41 is Captain Slamerica. Number 50 is Ponyboy. 5446 is Like a Boss DJ. 69 is Filthy Shades of Greg. 8 is Dysfunction. 919 is Codeine Sweet Tea. And we are underway.
And Lumberjerk, former member of the Cleveland Guardians. Number 309, jamming for the Capital City, it's Fancy Pants. Number 52, Cal Hell, the jammer for the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians 0-2 on the weekend. Cal Hell fighting his way out of the pack. And Fancy Pants, the lead jammer for the Capital City Hooligans.
Capital City 2-0 on the weekend, having a pretty good weekend here. Currently ranked number 29 in MRDA.
Cleveland Guardians are presently unranked. And Cal Hell picks up a jammer penalty. He took a track cut. We will go on the Sagatumi Power Jam. Fancy Pants, the jammer for Capital City. He's scored 4 points already.
We're looking at that pack reforming. Capital City isolating on number 0, London Mauling, but he's able to get towards the front. But here we see our jammer, Fancy Pants, right through the pack. Another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Impale Ale, a nice block to clear a path for his jammer Fancy Pants to complete the Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Pack at a standstill on the back straightaway. Capital City with a 4-on-3 pack advantage at the moment. Nice little bit of offensive blocking by Impale Ale. Fancy Pants spins out of the pack. Another 5-point Rydell Skates. Oh, there was a no pass, no penalty. 3 points for Fancy Pants.
Capital City lose one of their blockers, number 22. That is Impale Ale to a penalty. He will serve his 30 seconds. 4 points for Cleveland.
Cal Hell, they're back on Cleveland on the scoreboard.
Jam
Calhel trying to get through the pack once again. He's bumped out by Bloyd on the track as the jam expires, but Calhel able to score another 4 points for the Cleveland Guardians.
Fancy Pants and Capital City used the full 2 minutes despite having to leave Jammer for that the first jam of the matchup here. 29-4 after one jam.
Number 700, Ferret Bueller, jamming for the Cleveland Guardians against number 69. That is Filthy Shades of Greg.
2 blockers down for Capital City. Well, let's see if Cleveland can capitalize. However, we do have an official timeout here.
Also we want to get some time in with our sponsors. First of all, Turnaround Skates. They are drawing for an awesome giveaway today at halftime of the Bruisers versus Mad Rolling Dolls B-Team game. If you're not on the premises, check them out, turnaroundskates.com. All sorts of great stuff. If you happen to be in Milwaukee and you're not in the building and you're watching us, get on over here. They're set up on Derby Laces track number 1 at turn 3. They have got all kinds of stuff here. The more you buy, the less everybody has to take home.
And if you're looking to come out to next year's Brouhaha, taking place June 3rd of 2016, you can stay at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Play, stay, and get lucky at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination. Tables, games, dining, shows, hotel, and it's all there, only at Potawatomi.
They've gotten their money's worth with that sponsorship.
And the penalty box?
Yeah, with the penalty box.
Plenty of slots open right now. 2 slots taken in the Potawatomi penalty box. I think I got it right. And
it can be a tongue twister after a full weekend of Derby.
We're underway here. Let's see if Ferret Bueller can take advantage of the pack. Advantage that.
Well, Cleveland loses a blocker, Revengeneer. And in the meantime, Filthy Shades of Greg picks up lead jammer status. Ferret Bueller picks up a track cut. He will be visiting the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
It is a Sock It To Me power jam for Old Capital City.
Filthy Shades of Greg on a scoring run now. He shrugs off the last Cleveland Guardians blocker. That is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 5 points for Capital City.
Cleveland loses another blocker, down to 2 blockers out there. In Minnesota, they call this a minivan jam. The 2 parents trying to take on the 5 kids.
Jammer unlatches the car seat out of the pack and escapes.
Another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Skipping along the inside, Filthy Shades of Greg. Another 5.
Ferret Bueller has completed his penalty time. Sock It To Me power jam is over. Ferret Bueller recycled to the rear of the pack by number 24, Lumberjerk, a former Cleveland Guardian himself.
We're going to get the swap on the Sock It To Me power jam now. Ferret Bueller on the power jam has enough time to get around and attempt some points for Cleveland.
Okay. There was a brief official timeout before this jam. That was to establish, to review a point scoring situation. So, Ferret Bueller plows his way past Bloyd on the track. That is 5 points, the first Rydell Skates Grand Slam for the Cleveland Guardians. Pack at a standstill on the front straightaway. Ferret Bueller spinning around. He's bounced out of bounds by Impale Ale. He has to recycle the turns 3 and 4. Sock It To Me power jam over for the Guardians. Jam is over, but Ferret Bueller able to collect another 5 points for the Guardians.
And we have used the maximum amount of time you can in 2 minutes. I mean, in 2 jams. We're looking at 48-14 after 2 jams, approaching 5 minutes gone by.
So we have finally emptied the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box, and I assume that the hotel rooms at the Potawatomi Hotel are more comfortable than the penalty box. Jamming for Capital City, that's number 215, Wild Style. He's jamming against Old School.
Old School with some speed there.
Yeah, Old School and Wild Style. Flashing some jets. Wild Style spins around the pack. He calls off the jam. How much did he score?
I'm seeing 1-0 for Cleveland. I'm not seeing I think
I
it's
see
0.
two for
There it is.
Capital City. That will put them at a score of 50-14.
And we're lining up again. We see Alchemist Prime out there for Cleveland, and we see Burgle Arson Arsenate.
That's another tongue twister at the end of the weekend.
How do you pick that name? How does that come up? Oh, yeah, I'm Burgle Arson Arnie. Always wanted to be. And we get our first lead jam situation for Cleveland as Alchemist Prime erupts out of the pack for lead jammer status.
Alchemist Prime has been one of the more effective jammers for the Guardians. He's through the pack. He spins around the pack. He calls off the jam, picks up 4 points.
He had nice lateral movement there, kind of moved back and forth to get through the pack.
Very active skater, always up on his toe steps, bouncing back and forth. I mean, you see a lot of that in men's derby to begin with, but he stands out on the Guardians for that.
And we see the Beard Bard. He has the beard. And then
can't imagine how he came up with that name.
Then we have Fancy Pants, who has fairly normal pants for a name like Fancy Pants. You got to be in uniform and all.
Okay, each team we have 4. Looks like a full complement of skaters for each team. Fancy Pants out of the pack first. He's lead jammer for Capital City. Team in black and yellow from Springfield, Illinois. Beard Bard getting bounced around by the Capital City pack. He's got one blocker to beat as Fancy Pants completes his scoring pass. That is a 4-point pass. He hasn't quite caught and passed Beard Bard yet. Both jammers enter the pack. Fancy Pants comes together with Sinisation. They both bounce back up. Fancy Pants continues his scoring run. 4 more points for the Capital City Hooligans. Beard Bard picks up a track cut penalty. He will visit the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Fancy Pants on the Sakatumi Power Jam.
Another jammer in the penalty box for Cleveland. Fancy Pants had scored 29 in his first jam. He's up to 13 so far in his second jam as he's making his way through another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Just kind of gets low, gets around the outside of the pack to complete the Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Pack at a standstill, entrance of turn 3. Fancy Pants through once again for another 5 points. Sakatumi Power Jam is over. Beard Bard has completed his penalty stint.
Fancy Pants almost skated out of bounds, making his way around the track, but able to stay in, and 4 points that time around.
5 more points for Fancy Pants. Beard Bard, 4 points of his own for the Guardians. Fancy Pants will toe stop around the outside. Jam will end with the score at 77 to 20 or 81 to 22 in favor of the Capital City Hooligans. That was 31 to 4 on that jam in favor of Capital City.
60 so far for Fancy Pants as we line up this time around. It's Filthy Shades of Greg. He's in his third jam.
Jamming against Ferret Bueller.
Right you are, Biff.
We are channeling Kent Smith, even though he can't be in here. He can't be in here. He can't be here with his Cleveland team this weekend.
Started in Naptown, really used a lot by Kent Smith.
Yes.
And a fight up at the front of the pack. Look at that fight up front.
Filthy Shades of Greg battling Alchemist Prime to get out of the pack. That gives Ferret Bueller some time to advance in the pack. He still has 2 Capital City skaters to beat. He is the lead jammer for the Cleveland Guardians.
Credit Alchemist Prime. Tenacious defense up there, wearing that pivot stripe, giving his jammer a chance to score some points this time around.
Ferret Bueller fighting the full might and power of the Capital City Hooligans pack. All 4 of their blockers on the track. Filthy Shades of Greg out of the pack now. Ferret Bueller has to recycle to the back straightaway, and he is going to call off the jam as he sees Filthy Shades of Greg approaching.
However, that is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Cleveland as they extend their points up to 27.
Capital City's 81.
Right you are.
Capital City with it precisely 3 times the number of points as the Cleveland Guardians. Taking a page out of Reverend Norb's playbook there.
Old School taking the line for Cleveland here.
And we have number
Wild
215,
Style.
Wild Style.
Old School.
Contrast of styles in many ways. Old School and Wild
Woo!
Style.
Around turn 2.
Yeah.
Pony
Old
Boy
School.
went spinning out, flying in turn 2. Old School now on a scoring pass. Cleveland with a little momentum here. I think
Old
they
School
have a
is
power
on a
jam.
Sakatumi power jam. Wild Style incurring a penalty. He's sent to the
And-
Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. And that is a Rydell Skates grand slam for Old School. You know, Cleveland has picked up lead jammer status 3 of the last 4 jams. Pack is at a standstill in turn 2. Old School hop, skip, and a jump to the inside of the Capital City Pack. That's another 5 points.
Just a little fake to the inside. Old School's going to call it off, but right as Wild Style came back onto the track, so they're going to have a jammer their next time out.
So Capital City leads 81-37, 18 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Jamming now for Capital City, it's Burgle Arseny against number 700, Ferret Bueller.
So far, Burgle Arseny, this is the third jam for him. He's been shut out so far jamming, while Ferret Bueller has 15 points. And there goes Ferret Bueller. Gets knocked to the inside.
Knocked to the inside. That allows Burgle Arseny to be lead jammer for Capital City.
Nice block, Impale Ale.
He's been a very active blocker so far for the Hooligans. Ferret Bueller recycled to the rear of the pack again. He meets Impale Ale at the apex of turns 1 and 2. Taking some big hits now from Lumberjerk. Burgle Arseny quickly into the pack. He's bounced out by Revengeneer. Has to recycle to the inside. Is unsuccessful in recycling. He picks up a track cut. That will put Ferret Bueller on the Sakatumi Power Jam.
Currently getting recycled all the way to the back of the pack. I'm seeing a lot of referee motions right now. Someone got an illegal procedure.
Perhaps an illegal re-entry from someone who incurred a penalty. Not quite sure what precipitated that. We just saw the referee motion.
Whoa.
And Ferret Bueller has collected a track cut penalty of his own. He will go to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Sakatumi Power Jam now for Capital City.
Alchemist Prime looked a little confused as to where he should be on the track. He took off and then came back to the pack as we have another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
10 points
Capital.
on the jam for Capital City. No points for the Guardians. Another 5 points for Burgle Arseny.
Number 3, Revengeneer, trying to size up the jammer for Old Capital City. And
4 more points for Burgle Arseny.
you say that.
Capital City has hit the 100-point mark. Jam continues for Burgle Arseny. Finds a path to the inside. That is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. And the jam has timed out. Just in time to give our voices a break after all of that.
All that points from Burgle Arseny.
And all the points, all the penalties.
And let's talk about more tongue twisters. Bruise Skate Noose, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. They have over 50 colors and patterns to fit your team, your league, your personality. If that isn't enough, contact them for more customization options. You spend a lot of money on your skates. Don't shove them in a bag full of sweaty gear. Your skates hate that. And we're underway again.
Cal Hell jamming against Filthy Shades of Greg.
Filthy Shades of Greg is filthy through for lead jammer filthy status.
Made a filthy move to the inside of the pack to earn lead status. And he's through around the outside of the pack. He has completed a scoring pass, 4 points for the Capital City Hooligans. This is about the first time they've hit it and quit it after picking up 4 points. That pushes the score. 109 for Capital City, 42 for Cleveland. Halfway through the first period of play.
Cleveland, the new kids on the block, showing some promise for the future as Alchemist Prime taking the jammer star for Cleveland up against Wild Style for Capital City. who've had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, 2-0 to this point.
Beat Milwaukee.
Guardians are 0-2, but as is often said, Bruce City, Brouhaha, this is a tournament. Wild Style finds a path to the outside as the pack sort of congealed around Alchemist Prime. Wild Style lead jammer for Capital City. On the scoring run now, he was very quick around the track. Picks up a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for the Hooligans. Alchemist Prime giving the toe stops a workout. Tiptoes to the inside of number 24, Lumberjerk, but he was forced to the inside. He has to recycle to avoid the track cut. 10 points now so far for Wild Style. In the meantime, he had completed another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. A third Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Wild Style. 15 points on the jam for Capital City. Alchemist Prime has completed his initial pass.
Wild Style, though, once again through. Looking back now, calling off the jam. 4 more points.
Yep, total of 19 for Capital City. They lead now 128-42.
All of the skaters from Cleveland have obtained at least one penalty. Some young
that's
skater.
An achievement. Yeah, I mean, and that's
a new team.
Right, they're, like I said, learning the boundaries of the referees, very important.
Right you are. We got Old School. Got lead jam his last time out for the Guardians. Up against Fancy Pants. Lead point scorer for this game so far. 60 points so far, and he has lead jammer.
Didn't take him very long. He had established that into the first turn. Old School recycled to the rear of the pack. Fancy Pants on a scoring run. He gets past number 88, Beard Bard. And a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Fancy Pants. Pack at a standstill in turns 1 and 2. Old School trying to fight his way past the remaining 3 Capital City blockers. He's forced to the outside by number 50. That is Pony Boy.
Cleveland recycles Fancy Pants in the meantime. Able to slow his momentum.
Guardians rebuilding their wall. Fancy Pants around the outside of Sensation and Beard Bard. That is another 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
This Hooligans from Capital City wall holding very nicely right now against Old School. Old School looking for the star pass.
And in the meantime, while he's waiting for that to happen, it's Fancy Pants. Another 5-point scoring pass. 15 points so far on the jam for Capital City. Another scoring pass for Fancy Pants. 4 points.
Capital City loses a blocker. I didn't see the call.
No, I didn't see the hand signal.
Fancy Pants around the outside. Another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Old School in the penalty box. This is a power jam now for Capital City.
Old School stands up. 10 seconds to go on that penalty.
Fancy Pants through again. Another 5 points. 30 points on the jam now for Fancy Pants. Pack is at a standstill in the back straightaway. Fancy Pants through once again. Another 5 points. Old School through the pack. No.
An impressive 35 points.
Picked up a track cut at the very end.
Old School back to the penalty box.
So Capital City back out to a 163-42 lead. 35 points for Fancy Pants. Timeout has been called
by Cleveland. I got to say decibel for the bench coach of Cleveland. Really enthusiastic and supportive of her team.
You know what? Guardians have incurred some pretty heavy defeats this weekend, but I admire their enthusiasm. They know that Derby is a learning process.
Right.
This will help them out in the future.
Not a member of the MRDA as of yet, but working to do so. While we have some time, why don't we thank Dr. Eric Peifel of the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin, and MOSH wishes you a safe Brouhaha weekend. They are here for all injuries on the track and off the track. Contact them at the
Ortho Institute.
Thank you for that. You say that.
Speaking of pie, Classic Slice Pizza is your friendly neighborhood Roller Girl-owned pizzeria, serving up huge slices, salads, desserts, and apps made from scratch. Specializing in vegetarian and vegan items and the best gluten-free crust in the city, Classic Slice Pizza has been a proud Brew City Bruisers sponsor from the very beginning. Stop in this weekend, grab a slice and a $2 tall boy. That sounds like a heck of a deal. Classic Slice is in Bayview and open until midnight.
We have a stoppage of play here. Ferret Bueller now going to the penalty box.
Whiskey returning to the bench.
Ferret Bueller, I guess, required a penalty at the end of that last jam.
Yeah, he picked up, there was a track cut picked up by Old School as he was attempting to navigate the pack right at the end of that jam. Jamming now for Capital City, that is number 25, Burgle Arseny.
And
starts on the Sakatumi Power Jam for the Capital City Hooligans. He is around the outside and lead jammer for Capital City.
The pack speed established is not moving, so Capital City takes a somewhat passive-aggressive offense.
And number 22, Impale Ale, a bit of offensive blocking. But the Guardians writing out Burgle Arseny, faking him recycle to the rear. Old School, penalty time is over. And he picked up another track cut penalty on re-entry to the track.
Old School now has 4 penalties. Most penalties in this game so far.
He will have to tread carefully with almost 40 minutes of gameplay left in the game. Burgle Arseny, a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 10 points in total for the Capital City Hooligans. Pack at a halt at the exit of turn 2.
Burgle Arseny just muscling his way forward.
But he is muscled out of bounds by the 3 Cleveland blockers. Cycling back, that is Revengineer. Forcing Burgle Arseny to recycle. He's bounced to the inside again. Ferret Bueller trying to draw him back. Perhaps draw a track cut.
Here comes Old School back onto the track.
Old School bounced to the inside by Captain Slay America.
Burgle Arseny calls off the jam there. Another Rydell Skates Power Jam on this Derby Laces track number 1 at Brouhaha 2015.
Capital City leading 178 to 42. 8.5 minutes remaining in the bout, or in the first period, I should say. Back to the jammer line for the Cleveland Guardians is number 88, Beardbard. He'll be jamming against number 69, Filthy Shades of Greg.
We have an official timeout on the track. They're looking at the penalty board right now. The Brew City Bruisers are looking for donations for this great weekend that they do. If you can go to the Brew City Bruisers website, there's a tab for Brouhaha. You click that, and you click Live, and there is a tab for donations.
Well, I think if I were at home and a Derby fan, I would be shut up and take my money. So we've gotten such great work from Hinckley Productions this weekend, all weekend. Both tracks.
And everything they do. They do a lot of, they do some bouts in the Midwest. Hinckley Productions has been a friend of Derby since 2008, providing live video production services and bringing you this live broadcast of Brouhaha. Support free streaming Derby with your DVD purchases at hinkleyproductions.com/Brouhaha. Certainly if you want to scout the teams playing here. We had Gotham playing, we had Minnesota, arch rival, a team on the rise on the women's side of things, and we had the upset in the men's derby. Texas beat St. Louis. If you missed that, I'm sorry, but you could buy the DVD at Hinckley Productions.
Yes, you can, and it would be worth the money. Jam about to get back underway. Each team 3 blockers in the pack. Jam is underway. Beardbard forced to the outside. He was the first away from the notorious RED jammer line. Beardbard keeps the skates moving, finds a seam to the inside, earns lead jammer status. Filthy Shades of Grey beats him out of the pack. Beardbard got recycled by the Capital City pack. Beardbard, deciding that discretion is the better part of valor, calls off the jam as Filthy Shades of Greg approached.
I think Cunningham had that jammer takedown to recycle Beard Bard back. That will give him credit for ending the jam in the 0-0 tie.
So, pack is getting ready to reset. Number 52, Cal Hell jamming for the Cleveland Guardians. He will jam against number 215, Wild Style.
We are underway, and they scrum it out, wall versus wall. You see the Capital City wall just really strong. Cleveland not having a little more space there.
Yeah, Capital City maybe the benefit of bout experience. Cal Hell spinning to the inside. He's out of the pack. He is now eligible to score points. Wild Style takes a hit from Alchemist Prime. He's forced to recycle. He bounces to the outside of the pack, completes a scoring pass. 4 points for Capital City, no points for Cleveland.
So, just a clarification, the last penalty served by Ferret Bueller was a penalty assessed because Cleveland had too many bench staff.
Okay.
So the penalty was assessed to him.
So Ferret Bueller, I believe, is the captain, so he would be assessed that penalty. Jamming now for Cleveland, number 0, London Mauling, against number 309, Fancy Pants.
We have an official review here.
So, referee conferring with the Cleveland bench at the moment.
While we do that, why don't we thank Sakatumi. Sakatumi sells fun, funky socks. Socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches, unicorns, and other things magical. With over 200 different sock designs, there is something for every personality, from punk rock to peacock and everything in between.
Well, you know, tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches, and unicorns.
More sparkles.
That pretty much covers
I feel like
all things magical.
Roller derby's favorite color is sparkle. I feel.
Actually, I think the technical term is glitter.
Glitter. As we have a lead jammer right out of
Fancy
off the
Pants out in jamming for Capital City. Number 0, London Mauling jamming for Cleveland. Fancy Pants has approached the pack on a scoring run. He is through the inside. He shakes off the block from Old School. He has to recycle. London Mauling quickly approaching the pack.
And the jam has concluded there. London Mauling. I believe that was the first time he was jamming today.
That is correct. So Cleveland expanding their jammer rotation a bit. Cal Hell returns to the jam line, number 52. We have a palindrome jam. He's jamming against number 25, Burgle Arseny.
So one blocker down for Cleveland right now.
And that will be a short situation. Ferret Bueller standing in the penalty box, the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Burgle Arseny going face-to-face with Alchemist Prime. He's held up. Alchemist Prime sends him to the infield. Old School riding the toe steps, trying to get through. He is out of the pack. He is lead jammer for the Cleveland Guardians. Old School just using some brute force to power his way out of the pack. And the penalty was drawn on Burgle Arseny. He committed a low block. He will report to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. The Guardians are on the Sakatumi Power Jam.
Just what Cleveland needed. They're going to call the jam there as Cal L shaking his head.
That appeared to be a rather exhausting jam. He's expended a lot of energy to earn lead status. So a wise call off the jam, get a fresh jammer on the track.
Pass the ball to Beard Bard.
You drop the D, he'd be a perfect blitzkrieg skater, Beer Bard. So, blockers spreading away from the notorious RED jammer line.
Here comes the Bard, trying to push his way through the wall of defense. He does. He gets through. Lead jammer status.
And poetically through the pack. He is lead jammer on the Sakatumi Power Jam for the Cleveland Guardians.
Beard Bard getting psyched up for another run at the passive offense. Gets recycled
He's
back this
sent
time.
to the inside by Impale Ale, drawn back in the pack by number 22, Impale Ale. London Mulling trying to clear a path for his jammer. Burgle Arseny back on the track for Capital City. And Beard Bard incurs a track cut penalty. Burgle Arseny on the Sakatumi Power Jam.
Burgle Arseny attacking the two blockers at the front. Old School was not able to hold them off.
Old School and Whiskey teaming up. They will be joined by Bender Rules in the pack. Number 13, Dr. Woe, back on the track for Capital City. Burgle Arseny going 1-on-3 against the Guardians pack. Whiskey tries to force him to the outside. Old School knocks him down. He's through. That is another Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Burgle Arseny. 5 more points for Capital City. 10 total on the jam so far.
Cleveland get 2 of their skaters out of the box, including their jammer, Beard Bard.
We have a star pass to number 69, Filthy Shades of Greg. He continues on the Sakatumi Power Jam for Capital City. He's through the pack. That's another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Beard Bard has finished his penalty time. The Power Jam is over.
Time winding down here. 7 seconds remaining in the jam. Burgle Arseny more points.
That's Filthy Shades of Greg.
I'm sorry, the pass.
He received the jammer star. Jam time's out.
I'll give myself a penalty for that one, for forgetting the star pass.
It happens once in a while.
Penalty me.
Yeah. Capital City 206, Cleveland 47. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Number 12, Sinisation, new jammer for the Cleveland Guardians.
Up against Wildside on the notorious RED jammer line.
So another timeout, an official timeout.
We'd like to thank ATI Physical Therapy. When injury strikes, you have a choice. Choose ATI Physical Therapy, the official sports medicine provider of the Brew City Bruisers. To experience the ATI difference, visit atipt.com or stop by one of their over 19 Milwaukee area locations, and they have locations all over the country for a complimentary injury screening. Ask your doctor about the company that is taking physical therapy to a higher level. ATI Physical Therapy. Get there!
Val did mention, ATI has some locations in Chicago.
They
she swears by them. So they love roller derby. And they obviously love roller derby enough to help sponsor Brouhaha.
Right you are, Biff. We'd also like to thank Derby Laces. Say goodbye to the United Untied Skate Laces. Derby Laces stay tied tight and where you want them. Get yours at derbylaces.com.
So action ready to resume. Sinisation jamming at number 215. That is Wild Style. Pack locked up at the notorious RED jammer line. They skate away.
It's wall on wall here. Wild Side dealing with the front wall. I usually give advantage to that jammer.
But Ferret Bueller, Cal Hell holding strong. Neither jammer able to establish lead status. Wild Style ducks to the inside of Ferret Bueller. He is not lead jammer. No pass, no penalty. Sinisation still working his way through the pack. He is still eligible to be lead if he can complete this pass, but Wild Style through the pack, 4 points. Another no pass, no penalty for Wild Style.
Sinisation, you can't quite see it, trying to muscle his way through, gets recycled back by number 50, Pony Boy of Capital
Got an
City.
assist from Codeine Sweet Tea on that. Sinisation recycled all the way to the beginning of turn 3.
Wild Style contending with number 11, Alchemist Prime, in the pivot stripe at the front of the pack, trying to get his points, and he does
so. So a 5 points, Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Wild Style.
He is not your lead jammer. We don't have one.
Star pass
we
to
will not have
Alchemist
one.
Prime, who sets off in hot pursuit. Wild Style completes another 4-point scoring pass. Total of 14 so far for Capital City. Alchemist Prime attempting the apex jump. He is unsuccessful.
And penalty drawn by Pony Boy.
Well done by Pony Boy to hustle back, draw the track cut penalty on Alchemist Prime. So we now have a Sakatumi power jam for the Capital City Hooligans.
Wild Style with a nice little apex skip. Another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. And that's going to end the jam on time, I do believe.
Yes, it does. And that brings us to halftime. Capital City 223, Cleveland 51. So Capital City, pretty dominant performance for them. But again, this is a learning process for the Cleveland Guardians.
Just not an official MRDA game. We're looking at the MRD Championships taking place in October in the 17th and 18th in St. Louis. We're going to have some more derby action on this track later this evening. We're going to have, Puget Sound is going to take on the Twin City Terrors in one of the top premier MRDA matchups of the weekend.
Yeah, that should be a good matchup. Those teams I think are pretty close in the MRD rankings. Puget Sound, always an exciting team to watch with Quadzilla. Lots of acrobatics as a jammer. And Twin City Terrors, they're a very strong team as well. So we will take a little break. We're about 9 minutes, a minute into halftime. So we'll see you about a minute before halftime ends. I'm Biff Mix-a-Lot. He's Brian Mumble.
Yeah.
See you later.
Good time to do it coming out?
Yeah, I think it will be.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
As we come back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we want to, on behalf of everyone here in the Midwest Brouhaha, we want to send our deepest sympathies to the Assassination City Derby. They sadly lost one of their skaters recently to complications from surgery. You can check out the hashtag #4RockHell. All of our love and support is with them and family of Rock Hell at this time. So
yeah, that was a pretty freaky situation. You know, the skater gets injured, goes into surgery, comes out. You know, doesn't come out of it through complications with the anesthesia. So our thoughts and condolences are with them.
And you can send support. You can check the hashtag #RockHell and also Assassination City Derby. We'll have information as well.
So we are back. We're getting ready to gear up for half number 2 of Capital City versus the Cleveland Guardians. I just want to say, you know, Capital City, they have a huge lead at halftime. But the Guardians their bench was right in front of where we're sitting as announcers. All I heard from their coaches and from the skaters was
very
total
positive. Very
and they
positive.
were positive, enthusiastic. They seem to be accepting this as a learning experience.
Right.
And, you know, like I said, they felt, and I heard one of their coaches say, hey, this is one of the strongest halves you've played here. Let's keep it up. We got 30 more minutes, and we're going to have. I
believe you were saying this is their 4th game. They played 3 this weekend, so this is, you know, they played one other game before this weekend, and I think they've learned quite a bit. And
they have to be. They have a couple of skaters have to be a little bit careful with penalties. Ferret Bueller, number 700, he's sitting on 5. Old School, number 25, has 4, as does number 11, Alchemist Prime.
And the Fancy Pants is your lead jammer in this jam.
They're on the Sakatumi Power Jam. There is Old School picked up a jammer penalty right at the end of the half. So Fancy Pants starting the Power Jam for the Capital City Hooligans. He skates around the outside of 2 more Cleveland blockers. That is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. First 5 points of the half on the board for Capital City.
Alchemist Prime, the jammer for Cleveland, out of the penalty box and back to the penalty box.
Back to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box for Alchemist Prime. Sakatumi Power Jam continues for Capital City.
That is the 5th penalty on Alchemist Prime. 7 and you're out. And let's see, more points being awarded here. 10 so far for Capital City, and that will probably be, 15.
So the pack is at a standstill. Capital City content to play some passive offense as Fancy Pants circulates the track. Number 22, Impale Ale, playing a little bit more active offense, trying to clear a hole through the Guardians' wall. Fancy Pants re-enters the track, picks up 3 points, calls off the jam.
Does so as Alchemist Prime is standing in the penalty box to extend the power jam into the next jam. And we're going to get a look at Filthy Shades of Greg.
Another tongue twister name for the Capital City Hooligans.
On the notorious RED jammer line.
So Guardians still with a full complement of blockers. And skaters skate away from the notorious RED jammer line. Filthy Shades of Greg squirts out of the pack. He is lead jammer for Capital City.
Whiskey had a bit of a hold there, a forearm penalty on Whiskey. He goes to the penalty box.
Alchemist Prime fighting vigorously to get out of the track. Get out of the pack, I should say.
Filthy Shades of Greg had 4 on that pass, 4 points.
Yeah. So Alchemist Prime stalled at the exit of turn 2. Lloyd on the track, containing him there. He spins out of that block. Filthy Shades of Greg, a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Alchemist Prime catches and passes him, forcing him to call off the jam.
We're looking at a score of 250.
251.
Correct.
Fancy Pants, the leading scorer for the Hooligans. Ferret Bueller, the leading scorer so far for the Guardians. Beard Bard back to the notorious RED jammer line for the Cleveland Guardians against
4.
Against number 25, Burgle Larson Arseny.
Here comes
Sounds
Burgle
like a
Larson
Hanna-Barbera
Arseny.
character. So Burgle Larson around the outside, lead jammer for Capital City. Beard Bard trying to power his way through the pack. Trying to split those last two Capital City blockers. Cunningham spins out of the way. Beard Bard now eligible to score points as Burgle Arseny completes a first scoring pass, 4 points for Capital City. Beard Bard.
He's on a scoring pass here, I do believe. It's 4.
That's the first 4 points of the half for the Guardians. Guardians doing a pretty good job containing Burgle Arseny on this pass, but he bounces to the outside. That is a 4-point scoring pass for the Hooligans. And Beard Bard collecting a track cut penalty. He will be sent to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Burgle Arseny on the Sakatumi Power Jam.
So the pack at a standstill here. It's going to be the Burgle Arseny show for 30 seconds here as Beard Bard will sit that long.
Guardians trying to set up the triangle of blockers. Burgle Arseny skips around Whiskey. He's completed the Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
And we're going to continue the power jam to the next jam as Burgle Arseny calls it off. And Wild Style is going to take his spot at the notorious RED jammer line.
So less than 10 seconds remaining to the penalties on Beard Bard and Alchemist Prime. Timeout has been requested by the Capital City Hooligans.
Cupquake makes her way to the infield to have words with our zebra friends.
Yes, Cupquake, former Burning River skater. So she is now located somewhere in the Springfield, Illinois vicinity, helping out the Capital City Hooligans.
We'd like to thank Turnaround Skates. They are your source for roller derby skates, protective gear, and apparel. They are the official skate tech of this tournament and offer wheel regrooving, bearing, cleaning, skate repairs. And after you check out their merch, leave your name and number. You need your name or number on a shirt. Turnaround Skates has you covered. They have reversible black and white scrimmage shirts. Check them out. Check out Turnaround Skates.
So when the jam resumes, number 215, Wild Style will wear the jammer star for the Capital City Hooligans. Hooligans with a 4-on-3 pack advantage to start, but that will be short-lived as both of the Cleveland skaters in the penalty box are standing, which indicates less than 10 seconds remaining on their respective penalties.
And looks like our discussion has finished on the inside of the track.
Handshakes all around for the skaters.
Here comes Wild Style.
Jam is underway. Ponyboy tries to clear a block to the outside. Wild Style doesn't need it. He finds a path to the inside. He's lead jammer for Capital City. Pack at a standstill the front straightaway. Ferret Bueller awaiting Wild Style as he leaves the Capital City pack. And another block thrown in there by London Mulling. Big pile up in turns 1 and 2. Jam called off.
Someone lost some wheels.
Yeah, that looks, that isn't a full axle worth of wheels.
Number 41 there, Captain Slamerica.
And he will need to pay a visit pretty soon to Turnaround Skates. Turnaround Skates is your source for roller derby skates, protective gear, and apparel. They are the official skate techs of the Midwest Brouhaha, and they offer wheel regrooving, bearing cleaning, and skate repairs, which I believe will be pretty urgently needed by number
Captain Slamerica.
41, Captain Slamerica. Score stands now, Capital City 273, Cleveland 57, 24-22 left in the game.
We'd like to thank Field 59. The Field 59... I'm going to start again. That's a penalty on me.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
Illegal tongue twister.
The Field 59 video platform powered the live streaming technology behind the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup, and they are powering this tournament as well. And we are underway here.
Fancy Pants earning lead jammer status. He's on the Sakatumi Power Jam. Sitting in the penalty box is Beard Bard for the Cleveland Guardians. A full complement of Guardians blockers awaits Fancy Pants. Old School bumps him out of bounds. He recycles, absorbs a block from Whiskey. He's through. That is a Rydell Skates grand slam for the Capital City Hooligans. Pack at a halt once again in turns 1 and 2. Fancy Pants comes to a screeching halt at the Guardians wall. He is recycled to the rear, as is Beard Bard, whose penalty time is over. Beard Bard has completed his initial pass, gauging a bit of jammer on jammer contact with Fancy Pants.
He's hanging in there against Fancy Pants. As Fancy Pants hits the pack, starts to rack up points, calls off the jam. 4 more points for Fancy Pants.
That'll push Capital's score to 287. Still 57 points for Cleveland. So returning to the jammer line for Cleveland, it is going to be number 0, London Mauling, against number 69, Filthy Shades of Greg.
The notorious RED jammer line. As we begin the action.
Moving away from the notorious RED jammer line.
Occupy the pivot line.
That's a sponsorship opportunity, the pivot line. London Mauling. Both jammers still caught in the pack. The Guardians have a 4-on-2 pack advantage to start the jam. London Mauling going against the last 2 Hooligans blockers, and he earns lead jammer status for the Cleveland Guardians. Out of the pack for Capital City, that is Filthy Shades of Greg. Jam is called off, or still underway. We have some whistle bleed in this venue.
We do have the 2 tracks set up here. Houston and the other old Capital City is playing on the WFTDA side of things on track number 2.
Old Capital City, hailing from Iowa City, Iowa, taking on Houston. And timeout has been called as an official timeout.
And of course, we'd like to thank Notorious by RED, Notorious RED. Smell clean even if you play dirty. You can get it at Brouhaha or Derby for All, or you can order online at notoriousred.com.
Back to the jammer line for the Cleveland Guardians, number 52, Cal Hell. He is jamming against number 25, Burgle Arseny. A little palindrome on the Notorious RED jammer line. Burgle Arseny bounced up by Sinisation.
And Burgle Arseny powers through on the inside for lead jammer status.
He steals an inside path. Lead jammer for the Capital City Hooligans. A whole mess of skaters on the track, piled up in turns 1 and 2. Old School, Cal Hell, trying to bounce his way out of the pack. He does so. Burgle Arseny, a 4-point scoring pass for Capital City.
The jammer lap point is right there. Will he aggressively attack it? Doesn't look like it.
Cal Hell finding a seam through the pack. He picks up 4 points of his own for the Guardians.
Some penalty issues here for Capital City. They're looking to get their blockers back. However, outside the engagement zone penalty on
Burgle Arseny. Took him a little while to hear that penalty. Cal Hell through the pack again. That is a Rydell Skates grand slam. 9 points total on the jam so far for the Guardians. They've brought the pack to a standstill in the back straightaway.
We're going to get the star pass, some fresh legs out there.
Sinisation putting on the jammer star. He's going face-to-face with Lumberjerk. As Lumberjerk is a former Cleveland skater, that's probably an encounter that's happened in practice once or twice before. Sinisation
having a little trouble with his helmet cover now, secured properly.
5 points for Sinisation. He's trying to find a path to the inside, goes face-to-face again with Lumberjerk. Now he has to split Roger Rabbit and Dysfunction. Another Rydell Skates grand slam for the Guardians. Burgle Arseny completes a 4-point scoring pass of his own. The Sakatumi power jam is over. Jam times out. No additional points for Cleveland.
4 more for Capital City. We're looking at 295 to 76. Just under 20 minutes remaining in this one here.
So that may be the biggest scoring jam so far for the Guardians. 19 points. Fully 25% of their points for the bout. Capital City we're still with a 295 to 76 advantage. Just under 20 minutes remaining in the bout. Jamming for the Capital City Hooligans, number 215, Wild Style. He's jamming against number 5, Whiskey.
I think this is the first time we've seen Whiskey wear the Jammer Star, if I'm not mistaken.
Right you are, Bryant. Whiskey doing battle, 2 Capital City blockers. He fights his way out. He is recycled to the rear of the pack, but he committed a track cut. We will now have a Sakatumi Power Jam for Wild Style. Whiskey will visit the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Wild Style on a scoring pass for Capital City. He's lead jammer. He's bounced out by number 0, London Mauling.
He does get through there for another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. And the pack speed established is not moving here. Little aggression here from Capital City here. The Hooligans.
And Wild Style through the pack again. That's another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Jam is called off.
And done so before Whiskey can get out of the penalty box. The Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
So Fancy Pants will we'll get the Power Jam start.
It's been
timeout has been requested.
It's been a good show from Fancy Pants in this matchup today. He's looking at 131 points, no trips to the penalty box.
So I would say that is an MVP type performance.
That is definitely an MVP type performance. Although Burgle, Arseny still in the hunt with 84 points. Although those 3 trips to the penalty box.
Well, he has various criminal acts in his name. I guess we shouldn't be surprised by the 3 penalty box trips. Alchemist Prime sitting on 5 penalties for the Guardians, as is Old School. And Ferret Bueller.
Right you are.
5 points as well. But he started the second half with that, so keeping his act clean so far in the second period.
And we're lining up here. Aquila has given words of encouragement to the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, Aquila and Decibel, like I said, very enthusiastic as bench coaches for the Guardians. Pack.
Occupy the pivot line like a unicorn. Here we are.
Occupying the unsponsored pivot line.
Just glitter and unicorns on it, and you got yourself something.
Got yourself Derby. Jam is underway. Fancy Pants taking the Jam Star for Capital City. He is through. He is lead jammer. Started on the Sakatumi Power Jam. That is over. Whiskey has finished his penalty and is now out on the track, completing his initial pass, ready to score points. 4 points on that pass for Fancy Pants.
Spinorama. I don't know if we saw that.
That was a 720 plus a jammer takeout. Very impressive move there by Fancy Pants. Whiskey recovers. He's approaching the pack on a scoring run of his own, trying to rack up some points for the Guardians. He encounters the full might and power of the Capital City pack. Tries to wiggle his way through. He's sent to the outside. And he is through for 4 points of his own, completing the scoring pass.
And 4 points for Fancy Pants. Looking very casual at the moment. Calls off the jam.
Capital City, I think, content to burn some clock right now with the 242-point advantage. Score sits now at 322 to Capital City, 80 to Cleveland.
As we line them up in the next jam, we're going to get Filthy Shades of Greg. And he's going to be up against the Beard Bard.
Right now we've got crouching, from our perspective on the screen, we've got crouching blockers, hidden jammers. Pack is underway from the notorious RED jammer line. Beardbard sent to the infield. That allows Filthy Shades of Greg to pick up lead jammer status. Beardbard recycled once again by number 13, Dr. Woe.
And the scrum is on in earnest now. Beardbard recycled back by Capital City. And forearm penalty on Filthy Shades of Greg. It is a
Sakatumi
that's it.
Power Jam.
Sakatumi Power Jam.
Beardbard, a very persistent jammer for Cleveland. He's taken a good bit of abuse as the jammer this weekend, but like I said, he's kept on trying, keeps digging, keeps the skates moving. Guardians with a 4-on-2 advantage on the Sakatumi Power Jam. Beardbard going face-to-face with Impale Ale. He's around, skits around him. That is a Rydell Skates grand slam for the Guardians. 5 points on the board. They are now at 85 points to 322 for Capital City. Sakatumi Power Jam is now over. Filthy Shades of Greg has left the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Beardbard sent to the inside of the track once again by Impale Ale. Alchemist Prime now going face-to-face with Filthy Shades of Greg.
A lot of action at the front of the pack between those two, but pushing them outside the engagement zone.
Both jammers working the skates, digging at each other. Filthy Shades of Greg wins that battle. London Mauling receives the star pass from Beardbard.
He's all the way at the back at the moment as Filthy Shades of Greg fighting his way through for another scoring pass, but Alchemist Prime rode him out of bounds, I do believe.
That allowed the Guardians jammer to pick up 5 points. Rydell Skates Power Jam for London Mauling. Not to be confused with London Brawling. Score, 10 points on that jam for Cleveland. 9 for Capital City.
There's Old School on the notorious RED jammer line. We're going to time out, though, first.
Cleveland has requested a timeout with the score at Capital 331, Cleveland 90.
We'd like to thank Rydell Skates. Unmatched quality, unmatched performance.
And Capital City has racked up a whole bunch of Rydell Skates Power Jam, or Rydell Skates Grand Slams. Penalty to me. Sponsor mix-up. I'm not sure what the penalty code for that is.
Insubordination.
Yeah.
It's a little more extreme. Coming up on this track next, after this matchup, it's going to be North Star versus Treasure Valley out of Boise, Idaho.
And North Star from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I think all of the major Twin Cities teams are represented here this weekend. Twin Cities Terrors on the men's side, Minnesota Roller Girls on the women's side, North Star Roller Derby Supernovas also on the women's side.
We got to get some junior derby out here.
Maybe this is a plot, by Milwaukee to get them all in one place.
The Minnesota-Wisconsin hunting rivalry is on as Old School now.
He'll be on the Sakatumi Power Jam for the Cleveland Guardians.
Not a power jam.
Oh,
as we see, number 25, Burgle Arsony.
He was hidden well by the blockers there. Old School trying to power his way around the outside. He's
going to get lead jammer. Oh, yes, he
did establish lead jammer status.
Calls
Burgle Arsony hot on his tail.
Too much pressure for Old School. And we'll line him up again for another matchup.
Number 0, London Mauling, putting the jammer star back on. He'll go against Wild Style.
331 to 90 in favor of Capital City. The Hooligans are fighting their way to a victory here by the looks of things. Maybe a little too early to say that.
Well, yeah. Still, a fair amount of derby to be played, but they seem to be solidly in command at the moment. Guardians, a 4-on-3 pack advantage to start the jam. Wild Style jamming against London Mauling. London Mauling being ridden out by Impale Ale. That allows Wild Style to be lead jammer for Capital City.
Impale Ale doing a very nice job today on the defensive end of things for Capital City.
Wild Style forced to the inside. He committed a low block, so he will go to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. London Mauling on the Sakatumi Power Jam for Cleveland.
Number 50, Pony Boy, putting up a nice fight at the front of the pack.
Well done there by number 2, Bender Rules, to keep, kind of contain Pony Boy, keep him from drawing the jammer too far back.
The Beard Bard now has the jammer star.
He is trying to power his way through 3 Capital City blockers.
The Hooligans bridging it out. They bridge 1. And Pony Boy gets the recycle. And
Beard Bard.
Track cut.
A little bit of impatience there by Beard Bard. He picks up the track cut penalty. Wild Style back on a Sakatumi Power Jam for Capital City. Pack at a halt in turns 1 and 2. Wild Style.
Apex jump.
Nice little apex jump past Ferret Bueller. A 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Pack at a standstill once again. Wild Style into the pack. Bounces off a few Cleveland blockers. Spun to the inside. That is another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 15 points in total for Capital City. Impale Ale trying to clear a path for the jammer. Wild Style. Bounce to the outside. Jam ends.
When all is said and done, we're looking at 349 to 90 in favor of Capital City.
Just under 11 minutes remaining. So gonna line it back up again.
It's a Sakatumi Power Jam to start things off for Fancy Pants. Currently has 143 points in this matchup.
He'll get to lead to his bout leading point total. Assuming he doesn't commit any infractions in the process.
He does get lead jammer very quickly there.
Yep.
And Beard Bard out of the penalty box for Cleveland.
Power Jam is over for Capital City. Beard Bard out of the pack. Fancy Pants on a scoring run. That is 4 points for the Capital City Hooligans. Beard Bard entering the pack on a scoring run. We'll work on the toe stops to the inside. That is 4 points for the Guardians. Creeping ever closer to the 100-point mark.
4 more points for the Hooligans there. Fancy Pants extended to his point total. Cleveland loses a blocker to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Beard Bard trying to push his way past the pack. He is recycled. Cal Hell tries to contain the Capital City blockers. And Sensation will receive the star pass. He's caught up with the 4 Capital City blockers as Fancy Pants completes another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
That wall holding very nicely for Capital City.
Sensation out of the pack, takes a tumble. Can he get past Boyd on the track again? He does not.
He gets, we got a block to the head.
High block to Boyd on the track.
Hitting Sensation coming around there. Likely got some points before he went to the penalty box, but we won't know that until later.
So Sensation on the Sakatumi Power Jam for the Guardians. 3-on-3 in the pack. Sensation trying to push his way, trying to find a seam between those 3 Capital City blockers. Sensation recycled once again.
Lumberjerk wearing the orange helmet was able to recycle him back, and Sensation gives him a
little pat on the back.
Right. Sensation looks very appreciative of this derby action here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Brouhaha of 2015. They're going to do it again next year for the 7th Brouhaha, June 3rd through 5th. Make
I am looking forward to it. Book your hotels early.
Get your team schedules lined up.
Yes.
So you can come on out to Brouhaha.
Jamming for Cleveland, that is number 25, Old School. Jamming against number 69, Filthy Shades of Greg. He finds a path to the inside. He's lead jammer for Capital City. Old School out of the pack as well for Cleveland. Pack coming to a halt at the exit of turn 2. Filthy Shades of Gray comes face to face with Ferret Bueller. He calls off the jam because Old School is closing in rapidly. Capital City able to pick up 2 points and keep Cleveland off the board. Feel the Derby bromance. Lots of handshakes and back slaps all around.
We're going to have a timeout from Cleveland here. They're going to talk things over. They've already scored more points than they ever have, from what I understand.
Yep.
They've never made it to 100 points, so they have a chance here.
7 minutes to break the century barrier. You know, they've shown some signs of that capability. You know, if they can keep all their blockers on the track, help the jammers out, that is an achievable goal at this point.
For a new league, I mean, that's what you're focusing on. Growth, you know, getting better, learning from these experiences. This, you know, they played 1 game before coming into this weekend, so definitely I feel they're happy despite losing.
Right. I think they've won some fans. Like I said, they're giving off a vibe of enthusiasm. So we will continue with our sponsor reads. Starting close and clean on the Notorious RED Jammer line. Notorious by Notorious RED. Smell clean even if you play dirty. Get it here at Brouhaha at the Derby for All booth or order online at notoriousred.com.
We're looking at Cal Hell for Cleveland and Burgle Arson Arsony.
Another palindrome jam.
Burgle Arson Arsony is your lead jammer.
He steals lead jammer status from Cal Hell. Cal Hell still fighting with the pack. Blockers all jumbled up there in turns 1 and 2 as Burgle Arson Arsony approaches the pack on a scoring pass. He comes face to face with Alchemist Prime. He's getting an assist from number 88, Beard Bard and Whiskey. Burgle Arson Arsony out of the pack. That's 5 points for Capital City. Whiskey receives the star pass for Cleveland. Skating slightly awkwardly out of the turn as he puts on the jammer panty. Burgle Arson Arsony calls off the jam as Whiskey approaches the pack.
Second most points in this game for Burgle Arson Arsony at 89.
Well, he would have some way to go to catch Fancy Pants. Putting on the jammer star now for Cleveland, it'll be number 700, Ferret Bueller, jamming against Wild Style. Ferret Bueller started the second period with 5 points. He is
still at
5 penalties, still at 5 penalties.
A clean half. Knock on. Hopefully we didn't jinx the guy there.
Well,
maybe we did.
Announcer curse is a thing for a reason.
And Wall versus
Capital City
Wall.
Huddled around the unsponsored pivot line. Wild Style.
TBD.
Yes. Wild Style finds a crack to the inside. He is lead jammer for Capital City. Bend her rules, sent to the outside to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Ferret Bueller out of the pack now and eligible to score points. Wild Style into the pack. Did Ferret Bueller complete the apex jump?
And for the first time, he scored 100 points. He celebrates.
4 points. Breaking the 100-point barrier for the Cleveland Guardians. High fives all around.
Even gives him a congratulations there. High fives and all around there. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, smiles all around. Wild Style, I'm guessing, Capital City Hooligans, they've been where the Guardians are. You know, men's derby still relatively young. So Cleveland now at 103 points to 384 for Capital City. Jamming for Capital City, it's number 309, Fancy Pants, against number 5, Whiskey. And Whiskey hands off the star to Alchemist Prime. Cleveland's done a pretty good job executing those jammer panty passes here the last 2 jams. Alchemist Prime approaching the pack with speed. He hits number 99, number 919, Codeine Sweet Tea, with some degree of force. Unfortunately, that incurred him a track cut penalty. Capital City on the Sakatumi Power Jam now. Fancy Pants through the pack again. That's 4 points, or 5 points.
Looking at 13 so far in this jam and going for more.
So Fancy Pants toe steps around the outside, takes a tumble.
Alchemist Prime sitting in the penalty box wearing that jammer star has committed his 7th penalty.
So that's the end of the day for Alchemist Prime. Fancy Pants.
And we're going to go the rest of this jam without a jammer for Cleveland, as he can't come back onto the track. He has served his penalty.
So in the meantime, Fancy Pants completing another scoring pass. 28 points so far on the jam for Capital City. Pack is at a standstill. Still 21 seconds left in the jam. 5 more points for Fancy Pants. Standing at 33.
And Fancy Pants about to break the 200 mark if he can get through for another pass here. Looks like it.
He does so. Another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 38 points for Capital City. So their score now stands 422. Cleveland able to score 2 more points, inching them a little further past the century mark at 105. 2 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in the period, in the bout. Official review has been requested by Cleveland.
Coming down the home stretch here, our next matchup is a WFTDA matchup between North Star and Treasure Valley. That taking place in theory at 4:45. I think we're coming
we're
going to
cut
already.
that a little close. But, you know, if this proceeds fairly quickly, we should be able to make that.
And the huddle seems to be breaking up.
The
the Zebras are going to have their own
Dazzle
huddle.
Zebras are going to confer amongst themselves. So, team captains sitting, wait, exchanging some pleasantries. So, I'm sure we have some sponsor reads to do
Of course
here.
we do.
Of course, it's a tournament.
Well, I'd like to thank the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. You play, stay, and get lucky at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination. When you come and play one of these Milwaukee teams, you can stay there for table games, dining, shows, hotel. It's all there. Only at Potawatomi. Play all day and stay all night at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination and luxury hot hotel. It was there was an extra line between hot and L.
Yeah, not quite enough hyphenation in that document.
Oh yeah, I was trying to avoid a penalty, but I got caught on myself.
All right, skaters are regathering around the notorious RED jammer line. 2:25 remaining in the bout. Old School, number 25, jamming for Cleveland against number 69, Filthy Shades of Greg for Capital City.
Old School.
And Old School.
Lead jammer.
Lead jammer, Old School style for the Cleveland Guardians. Filthy Shades of Greg out of the pack now. Old School on the scoring run. Pack moving kind of slowly. Some action between the different core of blockers. Old School on a scoring run. He ducks to the inside of Codeine Sweet Tea. That is a 4-point scoring pass for Old School. Filthy Shades of Greg completes a scoring pass of his own. That's 4 more points for Capital City.
Old School just wants points. I don't blame him. Trying to jump the apex. Did he do it? No.
Unfortunately, no.
He raised his hand.
Yeah.
He knew it.
Yeah, you could see the skate landing on the line for Old School.
On that last that review there, the Guardians challenged a cut on green number 11. The call was upheld. The review was lost.
Filthy Shades of Greg.
We didn't see that on the screen.
Incurred a penalty. He was sent to the penalty box. Old School playing a bit
two
of
penalties on
jammer
Filthy Shades
defense.
of Greg. Little shenanigans as the jammers were going to the penalty box. So we're going to go a little bit here without a jammer as
Ferret Bueller seems to enjoy this particular circumstance.
And it's a dance party.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's ready to party. They've had fun this weekend.
Roller derby, the one sport where dancing on the playing surface is not
Sometimes.
only welcome,
Sometimes.
it is encouraged. So in the meantime, Filthy Shades of Grey completes another scoring run. 5 more points. A Rydell Skates Power Jam for Capital City, or 5 Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Capital City.
I think did Old School get the two penalties there?
He may have. I mean, because he initiated contact against the Capital City Jammer as they entered the penalty box.
And he is fouled out as a result. He had
Yes.
5 going into it, got the 2 penalties, and he's still serving his time.
But he will have to leave momentarily once they establish that he has in fact committed his 7th penalty. Capital City sitting at a 436-109 lead. They have exactly 4 times the number of points as Cleveland.
Whiskey is going to sub out for Old School.
So team timeout taken by Capital City. 19 seconds remaining in the bout. Capital City at 436, Cleveland at 109. Cleveland still has a full complement of blockers on the track to attempt to defend the Sakatumi Power Jam for Fancy Pants.
Just 19 seconds remain here in this matchup between Capital City and the Cleveland Guardians.
So, team timeout finally over. Jam is underway. Quite likely the last jam of the bout. Fancy Pants quick to establish lead status.
Let's see how Fancy Pants plays this. We got 8 seconds remaining on the game clock, and he will engage the pack.
Hop, skip, and a jump through the inside. That is a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Pack comes to a halt.
He's going to keep it right on going here, fighting till the last.
Fancy Pants, another 5-point scoring pass. 10 on the jam so far for Capital City.
Capital City's bench on their feet.
Period clock at 0. Jam clock still rolling. Fancy Pants, another 5 points.
A chant of fancy goes up for Capital City.
Whiskey out of the penalty box now for Cleveland. He encounters the rear of the pack. Fancy Pants through the pack once again. 4 more points for Capital City. Whiskey still working on the Capital City blockers. He is recycled into the back straightaway. 5 more points for Fancy Pants. 24 total on the jam.
He's at 2:22 for the game. And
So,
going for more here. Gets
He's
rid
bounced
out
to
of
the
bounds.
outside.
I think Beard Bard had position for the recycle.
So Beard Bard, I think, got the worst of that contact. He's retreating to the rear of the pack. 5 more points for Fancy Pants. 18 seconds remaining on the jam clock.
Whiskey still on the initial, not able to get through. Fancy Pants again, up to 2:27 on the day. Now more, what is that? Another
232,
Rydell
another 5 points.
Skates Grand Slam.
34 points in this jam for Fancy Pants. And the jam times out. Capital City with the victory. Unofficial final, 470. 109 points for the Cleveland Guardians. Handshakes all around. A milestone for the Guardians. They've cracked the 100-point barrier. They've completed their stint here at Brouhaha. No victories, 3 defeats. So once we get the hi-ho from the officials, teams will commence the handshake lap.
Capital City, a great weekend for them. They went 3-0, defeating Milwaukee, defeating Bismarck, North Dakota, and winning here against Cleveland. Very good weekend for them. Hopefully will improve their rankings. They got to be happy with that.
Yes. That is correct. They're going to do a little Stanley Cup style handshake line here. Handshakes, smiles all around. Capital City first through the line.
And on the backstretch, we see our next 2 teams coming up.
North Star against
Treasure Valley out of Boise, Idaho.
So, for Bryant Mumble, I am Biff Mix-a-Lot. This has been an MRDA bout here at Brouhaha 2015. We have still more Derby to come.
More MRDA action coming up later. You got Puget Sound and Twin City Terrors coming up at 6:30 Central Time. That's going to be a fun one.
Yes, it will be. So, we will sign off. There will be some Derby back on the track in about 15 minutes, maybe just a little bit less than that. So, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft-top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, Derby at 6. Come for Derby, stay for fireworks. Find the Derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.
Turnaround Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.